episode, we will make enemies and they can move. That later. For now, all day. As you can see, guys, also a level. Let me show you what the level means. Level means that how many times I have destroyed all of the 50 enemies. So let me destroy them and show you that this number changes. See guys, the level changes. It is now 2. So guys, let me show you from where we left off. संगे भी edit कर दूंगा. Wait. So guys, we left off from the episode 1, in which we can move the ship and shoot bullets, and the ship stops, and the ship doesn't go to the offside. So guys, let's build our episode 2. Before updating this program, let me show you how can you get these pictures, the spacecraft and bullets and enemies and many other sounds. So guys, I will share this project, and as you can see guys, there are all these sprites with all of the costumes. Just like take this enemy sprite. It has 4 costumes. And I have also made sounds like this one and this one. So let's save it as a copy and name this one. So guys, I will give you this link in the description box below. So guys, now the real fun begins. So where were we? Oh, I will take the sprite that I have taken from the Space Invader assets, which is the enemy sprites. As you can see, guys, here are all of the costumes. So first, as always, we need to initialize this enemy sprite. So first, we'll create an ini define block, which means initialization. Wait a minute, it is too small. Let's say we set its size to almost 3 times its size, like 300%. Now this is looking much better. We'll just drag the set size to block right here, and we'll under the when green flag clicked, we'll take this ini block. The first variable we need to place the clones is called clone counter. For all sprite, because we want to count all of the clones and initialize this variable. Now let's create a new interesting variable that I like, score. We'll also initialize this one too. So guys, now let's place our clones. So we'll make a grid block, define the heading, name it print clones. Now add another heading, grid distance, with an input dist. With this input, we can adjust the spacing between the clones. Now we'll add another label, rows, and add an input also named rows. Now we will add another text, name it start x, with the same input. Now add another label, name it end x, and another input, name it end x. And don't forget to check this block of run without screen refresh. So as first we want to show the sprite, show the actual sprite. Now we will go to XY, set the X to start X, and divide to let's say 140. Wait a minute, let me check. That's better. Because we'll placing scores and levels and lives up here. Okay. So now we'll take a repeat loop and we'll repeat for number of rows. And we will create another repeat until nested loop, and we'll check two conditions. If x position is greater than end x or equals to end x, because we don't have an greater and equals to operator block. So we'll have to use the or statement. Um, I'm sorry guys, the end x input variable will be here in the less than area. And the x position will be here. So that was my mistake. Now, we'll use the same technique using the bullet sprite, but instead we will skip by its own size. So we'll change its x-axis by check the constants tab and find the largest value. The largest value is 7 pixels. So change x by 7 multiplied by size divided by 100. Now we want to count the clones. So we'll change the clone counter variable by 1. So guys, as you have noticed, we will have to create a clone ID variable to give each clone an ID, because because later we will control its firing. So when I imported this sprite here from scratch assets, I accidentally forgot to delete this clone ID variable. So let me show you what are the properties of this variable. So we will have to name this variable clone ID, and for this sprite only. Now we'll just change clone ID by 1 and we'll just initialize it here and we'll just set it to 1, not 0. Now above all of this, we'll create a clone. Now we'll set its x to start x and we'll just change its costume 2 times. So we'll drag 2 next costume blocks here. Oh wait, I forgot to change the clones. Printing of clones in the y-axis. We won't be able to create rows. So well, let's do that. So duplicate this change x by block, drag out this operators on mathematics, delete this change x by 1, and we'll change y by. And we want a negative value. So no worries, drag this minus sign block to white here. Type 0 here. Now it's done. And finally, we can hide the original sprite. Now what are we waiting for? Let's drag this block and give it a test. So well, I'm not going to use this grid distance for now. I'll explain that later. For now, let's set the rows to, let's say, 3. Start x to negative 200 and end x to 0. So let's click this block. Ooh, guys, as you can see, guys, it prints the clones. But as you can see, guys, they are pretty close and we want to keep them in a distance. So that is why I created this grid distance input. So we'll just take a plus sign operator block, take this whole mathematics, drag our list input here, and do it same for the y1. Now let's set the grid distance to, let's say, 4 pixels. Oh, as you can see, guys, it starts overprinting the clones. Well, we can fix that. So go to the ini script and we'll broadcast a message. Name it reset. And when I receive reset, delete this clone. So this is a simple code to delete all clones on the stage area. As you can see, guys, when I click this block, all clones are now deleted. For now, we'll just drag this block under the when green flag clicked and click the green flag. As you can see, guys, now they are evenly spaced and I like that. Now let's set the rows to 4. Now it's looking much better. So now, guys, it's time to destroy these clones by our bullets. As you can see, guys, they are so invincible right now. No bullet can hurt them. So drag up when I start as a clone block and we'll repeat until I have already created this variable in the enemy sprite. So you can just make this one. So repeat until health is equals to 0. We'll just set the health to 1 right here. And if touching bullet, delete this clone. No, sorry, we don't want to delete them. We just want to set its health to 0. We'll do that in the end. Now, create a new custom block. Name it movement. So under the define movement script, we'll just change its x-axis. Now define a new variable and I'll use an underscore to it. We'll press underscore move x. For all sprites and move y also for all sprites. Now guys, we'll change its x-axis by move x. And let's change its color just for fun. We change it by, let's say, 10. Now, under the initialization, we'll set the move x to 2. Now, let's give this a test. It's not moving. So now, guys, let's give it a test. So we'll just drag this new movement define block right here. As you can see, guys, it moves. Now, but it gets stuck. So, guys, we'll need to create a check block. Well, for that, I have an idea. We'll just drag a new if then block above the movement script. And we'll just set the change move x by move multiply by, create a new variable, name it move x dir. So if the x position is greater than, let's say, 200, and let's broadcast a new message, name it change dir. Now under the when I receive change dir script, we'll drag an if then else statement. If move x dir is equals to 1, then we'll set the move x dir to -1. Else, if it is -1, we'll just set it to 1. And here, initially we'll set the move x dir to 1. So guys, now let's give it a test. Working pretty great. So guys, now it gets stuck. So I think we should also call a movement right after you change the script so that it doesn't get stuck. It's still getting stuck. So I have another idea. Let's drag this block here and we'll create a new when I start as a clone. Repeat health is equals to 0. So this, if we add a delay here, it won't affect the movement. So let's say we wait for 0 seconds, which means 1 frame. 0. Let's do it 2. See guys, now it works pretty well. But it doesn't have of the other side. Well, that's okay because we didn't enter there. So if x position is greater than 200, we'll add another statement. If x position is smaller than -200, we'll take an OR block right here and check those two booleans here. And let's give it another test. Oh guys, it's now working. Now all we need to do is change its y-axis. Well, that is pretty easy. We can just take our change y by block right here, and we'll change it by move y. Now let's initialize this move y variable. So we'll set the move y to -3. Now let's give it a little test. As you can see guys, now it's slowly coming down. And if I shoot a bullet, it just disables those clones. So we don't want to just disable them, we want to destroy them. And we want to increase our score. So guys, we can just use a very simple technique. When I start as a clone, we'll wait until health is equals to 0. Then first we'll hide it. I'll add the sound later. And we'll just change its score variable by 1. And finally, we can delete this clone. So guys, let's give it a test. Let's shoot this one. You can see guys, it's working. But it doesn't respawn them. Well, we can just fix that. So we'll use a forever loop. And we'll wait until clone counter is equals to 0. Now we can decrease the clone counter variable here. Change clone counter by -1. And we can just simply create a level variable. We'll initially set it to 1 right here. And we can change level by 1 here. Guys, let's hide these extra variables like move extra and clone counter. Let's arrange these ones. Put the score here. Put the level right here. And now let's run our program. As you can see guys, the score increases, and if I kill all these clones, it spawns new one. If you want to, you can just play with these values right here. So if I want, let's say 6 rows. See guys, so if you can see guys, you saw that guys, that these clones come down pretty quickly sometimes. And that's a major problem. In the corner, there are many clones. So we cannot use this when I start as a clone block. There are just too many commanding this change there and change y by move y. Sadly, we cannot use that. Well, but what we can do is that we can take out these things, remove this broadcast change there, take a when green flag click block, and take a forever loop. And we'll broadcast a message named check. Now when I receive check, we'll use two if then else statements. If x position of the clone is greater than 200, Remember, it's checking all the clones at once. It is not checking 1 or 2 and 3 and 4 in a line. It is checking all the clones at once. So we can take this move vector here and this to here. We'll use an else statement. It's less than negative 200 to be set to 1. Delete this one, delete this thing, and we'll broadcast a new message. Name it move down. So when I receive move down, we'll change its y by move y. And we just don't want to broadcast this message from the start again and again, again and again. We want to check the whole condition, then we want to continue on. So we'll, instead of using a simple broadcast message, we'll use broadcast and wait block. We'll use an broadcast and wait block, and we'll broadcast the message. Check. So guys, now let's run our final program. I hope this works. Oh no, it's not working. It's just going down rapidly. Wait a minute. Let me. Guys, I think that we need to separate this movement. Just a random guess. Oh, now it's much worse. Let's wait 0 seconds. Let's try changing the frame rate. 2 frames first, then 2 frames, 1 frame here, and a frame right here. So as let's try changing the move by -1. It is still not working. No worries. Let's try setting the health to 1 right here. I think there is a problem here. Well, but I can fix that in a jiffy. Oh, we just don't want to use the move down block here. That's the only problem. I just forgot. It took me a while. According to my calculations, this should work. We'll just set that back to -3. We can remove this health one. Why am I don't know why am I using this treatment. As you can see guys, now it's working well. Guys, this is it of the Space Invaders series. As always, you can play with these values and change them any way you want. Like, let's set it back to 4. See guys, it's working. So I hope you guys like this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out any other series of the Space Invaders. I'll see you in my next video.